on a mission through the movieverse tonight. Chasing aliens, bad plots, and CGI that ain't quite right. Dave leads the charge with the captain's command. John's the rookie, still learning where to land. Shane drops beats that walk through time. Chad fixes tech with precision so fine. The Sci-Fi Guys. The Sci-Fi Guys.
All right, we are the Sci-Fi Guys. I am your host, Dave, and with me is Chad.
Hello there.
Shane.
Good evening, everybody.
And John.
Present, accounted for, well rested again, albeit through a crazy day, but it's fine.
That's right.
Oh, we were just talking about this offline that we're like less than 2 weeks away from spring break.
Woo-hoo.
And
Goodness.
we're all just like ready for it.
Yep.
I mentioned this on my other pod. I was like, I would love to just be able to sit at home and do nothing, but I know I wouldn't. So we're going somewhere to get away, so I wouldn't feel like, oh, I need to go work on the shop. I need to go work on the track. I need to go mow the lawn. I need to play with the grandbaby, something like that. So it's like, go, get away. So that's our plan.
Break?
I want to get away. I want to fly. Yeah.
Keep going. You had it.
Keep going.
You
Let's
had
go.
it. You were hitting the notes. Yeah, you were.
There was that middle piece though that I was not confident I was going to hit.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What are we discussing? Well, no, let's not even go there yet. So, how's everyone's week going? Guys have anything exciting, new, and adventurous, or anything going on this week that you want to talk about? If you don't, we'll just get right into the pod. So,
If I had anything new, I would have to run it by my chain of command before I do it. I got nothing new here.
in other words, he's whipped.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about if I got anything like my week has been hectic a little bit. Just starting this past Friday, so it's still going on.
Yep.
You know,
I say let's do it. Let's jump
yeah,
in.
I was going to say one of the craziest things that we had this week was today was the weather alone. You know, we were under tornado watches and warnings all day today.
Yeah.
And it was quite crazy. You know, I mean,
Any tornadoes touched down in Valdosta or?
Rumors of, but they were at least swirls in the sky. I don't think they actually actively hit the ground.
I think you're right. I hadn't heard of any that actually touched.
Because I heard from Wild Adventures to the airport there was a path.
Yeah, I heard.
But I don't know if
that.
that one actually hit. I think it started and stayed in the air,
Yeah.
which I'll take all day.
Mhm.
I seen pictures of like somebody in Tipton out of the UGA campus saw just a picture of something starting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yep. I
And
mean,
then in Lanier, there was one that touched down in Lanier County.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
So get this, it's crazy how we had weather down here that produces tornado watches. I had friends that up in Gainesville, Georgia, that had snow flurries. So
That's quite the mix there.
yeah,
oh, and it's going to be. I mean, this morning, you know, when I left the house this morning to drive, I was wearing shorts. When I picked up the kids, I was wearing a jacket.
Oh, y'all had school today?
We had yeah, they did. All of our county did. And
Stilla called it off, and then I don't know about what Valdosta did.
Valdosta had school too. Valdosta
Yeah.
and Lounge.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're like, we're not going to make it up later on. We're good. It's fine.
That's what the Fuss for Learning Days was for.
Mm.
No, those are something different.
So,
Those are something different. But all right. Well, today we're going to be talking about a movie Disney made way back when. What was it?
2015.
2015.
11 years ago.
years ago.
Yeah, Tomorrowland, George Clooney, and some other people.
I mean, that's a
All
pretty
right.
accurate description.
That pretty much sums up the cast. There you go.
Pretty much, yeah.
See, I didn't realize who was the guy that was the welcome to Blast from the Past. I didn't know that guy was in there. Till I saw looked at the who was in there. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah, guy from House was there.
I was gonna say Dr. House was there.
Yeah.
That was, I've seen him in several different roles now,
Yeah.
and he's a really good actor. Really,
He is.
I went ahead and put him as the villain, even though he
It's-
sort of wasn't.
Well, no, he sort of was. He wanted to keep the people thinking it's going to be Doomsday all the time.
Yeah. So let's move this around here. Move John up there because he's
There
the
he
one
is.
that gets to ask our questions and give us a brief synopsis about this movie, John.
All right. So the most drum set dying. The most brief synopsis I can give us is future meets past to talk to present to go to future to fix the present. That's pretty much the whole movie.
That works. I like that.
And you just confused the heck out of everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if you
followed
see
it.
it, that's the movie.
I
The
followed it.
past,
Now, that may be
the
a
future robot goes to the past to recruit people, and then they end up in the present, realizing that they need to go to the future to fix the current present, so the future doesn't turn out as bad.
makes sense to me.
Makes sense. Total sense. Okay. Well, before we get into the movie, I'm making a little change to our game. Because you guys are not going to catch Chad. Ain't going to happen.
I keep trying.
You're trying.
I'm like 1
So-
point away every stinking time.
And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna still keep the Metacritic. You guys are gonna. I'm gonna let you get a guess of a number. If you're within 10, your name gets put on the board for the wheel of names, and then we will spin the name. And if only one person gets within 10, guess what? They win automatically.
There you
If
go.
all three of you do, then we at least get the spin and we get a chance to go across the board for everyone. So, I will let you guys. We'll start with you, John. What do you think the number is? Metacritic. What do you think?
47. I don't think they would have rated it highly.
47. Okay. Chad.
I'll say 55.
Okay. Shane.
52.
All right. And the number is 60.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
So 60, which means who is going to be on the board?
Not John.
That means Shane and Chad are both on the board.
Don't forget we had last week's movie to do it too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mhm.
All right, well, we'll do that in a minute. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, I need to click down here and go share screen to the wheel of names.
The wheel of
So
madness.
we've got Shane and we've got Chad. All right, 50-50 shot for each of you.
Here we go.
Ready? And it's spinning.
Spin the wheel, make the deal. Here we go.
Let's see who's going to get the point this week.
Chad, still on a streak.
Chad
Still
is
on
on,
the streak. Still on a streak. Still on a streak.
still on the streak. Okay. Let me go here. I changed the spreadsheet a little bit, so I'm trying to do this. And you know what? We did not do cone heads last week, so let me stop sharing the screen for a second here. If I can figure out how to do it, there it is, right there. All right. Let me go to All right, Coneheads. What did everyone think about Coneheads? Actually, I did that in the wrong one, didn't I? Hold on. 52. Y'all talk.
How dare Dave do that in the wrong one, guys?
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
It's only a computer. You can fix it later. It's
Yeah. All right, Chad. What'd you
Ain't
say
help these days.
for Coneheads?
48.
Okay. John.
I mean, I was back on my 47 train. I'm just going to stick with it. It's got to work for one of them.
Okay. Shane.
36.
Cool.
All right.
Oh.
Mhm.
Ooh.
And
Yeah,
the
shows you what I think of
number
the movie.
is. Hold on. The number is add to screen. 49.
So not me
All
then.
right.
See, that would have been one of those worst ones from before where I was away 2 and he's away 1.
I am shocked that Coneheads is that high. I am shocked.
Yeah, me too.
That
Yeah.
is shocking.
Yeah, I think there's people. It's still.
Yeah, it's the Metacritic though. It's the people plus critics plus whoever. There's a lot of outliers on the bell curve. That's what that means.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
movie sucked. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ready?
Really? Yes, John and Shane on there now?
Wait.
Hey, leave me on there. Leave me on there. It's my only chance of winning.
There. Now it's right.
It landed on red. It's going to land on blue again. Would you?
Lord. Okay.
When it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
And when it's
Telling
meant to
you.
be, it's meant to
Telling
be.
you. Woo.
Yep.
Hmm.
When it's meant to be. Okay. John, since you've got this here, what did you rate Coneheads?
5.
Since you weren't on last week.
5.
You said what?
That's one of the
What?
best movies of all time.
Okay. I think I need to go ahead and mute him now.
No, a legit 1. It has a lot of classic humor. It's just a real solid, funny film. It looks funny. It's visually funny. They have a continuous visual gag. This idea of fitting in is pretty nice, but outside of that, yeah.
Well, you know, we you were the same as Shane, and Chad gave it a 2.5, and I gave it a 0. So, you know, you're kind of in the middle of all of us.
Yeah,
So,
we said 5. I'm like, really? You gonna be pull a Shane on this one?
Hey now. Hey now. Come on.
Hey,
You're an all-star.
exactly.
Get your game on.
You know,
Go
you're
play.
an all-star. Get game.
See, we're on the music references tonight. We're on a great train there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's go back to this movie.
I might be too
And,
tired
hey,
for this.
let's just start with the music. Hey, since we're singing about it, let's
Yeah,
just
there you
start with the music. What did everyone think of the music?
I'm not gonna lie. I think I would have enjoyed less soundtrack, more cinema, if that makes sense. I almost like give me Interstellar soundtrack, but not so epic, and I think I would have enjoyed it better. I think it was a little too. It's not even campy. Like campy is not even the right word. It was just too bouncy. That's what I'm gonna say. It was too bouncy. It was too Tigger in a Eeyore world, and I think that was my issue. You know, they just celebrate 100 years. We're doing something at school for it. So, like, okay, forgive me. It's on my mind. But that's the way I would describe it. It's too Tigger in an Eeyore world.
Well, I kind of, I can see it, but I don't. There's parts where you had songs. I mean, there's a group in there called the Black Keys, and that song when it came on when the girl was destroying the excavators was perfect timing. It was basically, it sounded right for the what it was came in for. Yeah, they were more soundtracky, but I agree with John. I wish it was more Interstellar. Not a lot of the mainstream artists in there. Make it write a score for this to make it what it needs to be. Because if you think about it, somebody's breaking and doing something, have something like the rock sound or something like that, but no words that have to be in there for it to make it work. So,
I mean, it was Disney. Disney had the rights to all kinds of stuff for the longest time, and they could have done. I think they could have done better. You know, I wasn't impressed.
That is it.
So, and Shane's going to tell us all how we're wrong. So go right ahead, Shane.
No, it's not wrong. It's a differing opinion. I enjoyed it. So the film composer, and I'm going to butcher his name, Michael Giacchino. I'm going to say that, and I know I said it wrong, but anyway, he was the composer. And if you look at the
is he the same guy that is that the Up guy?
He wrote the music for Up. He wrote the music for The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Jurassic World. So when you think about it that way, the way that he wrote this is very common to what he did. And to me, it had that classic Disney kind of sound. It very much was the sweeping orchestral melodies, just very what you would hear in your classic Disney movies. If you're thinking about Aladdin, if you're thinking about The Little Mermaid, just these big sweeping things going on, especially when he's riding his jetpack into the Tomorrowland, it just felt like Disney, and it fit. And really and truly, based on what he's written, I mean, I think it worked. Was it the best soundtrack? No, but I think for the film and what Disney was going for, I think it did work. One thing I will say about this composer, he actually won an award, and I'm going to see if I can find it. He won the award for Film Composer of the Year in 2015 because of this score.
See, I almost feel more vindicated in the I don't understand. Like, I wish it would have been less soundtracky, more scory. It doesn't have the same synonymity as like his soundtrack with Up or any of those other films. Like those, I feel like I would recognize immediately. If I heard the soundtrack by itself, I don't think I know where it's from.
No, that I agree, and I do think it was lacking in the I do think it was lacking in the what am I trying to say? Specificity of this specific film. Like, you're talking about the motifs and everything that are specific to this film. I don't think there is for Tomorrowland. You're thinking about this iconic motif for it, and I don't think it has that like you would with Up, or like you would even with Jurassic World or Star Wars Force Awakens. You don't have those things. So I think that, John, I think you're right, that is lacking. But overall, as a score, I think it worked, because it does kind of bring back that nostalgic Disney sound, is what I would say.
I'll call that.
I think they were going for that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so what you guys think of the plot / story?
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Weaving in and out.
I will say overall, I think the storytelling element they had at the front end that we eventually jumped back to was a little confusing, but once you get into it, it made sense. So I'll give it credit for being an actual, like, it was just a film technique, right? I'll give them credit for driving the plot along that way. It's fine. It worked out in the end. I was very lost on the front side and why we kept swapping people, and I didn't understand how they were related at all. And I get that we built that story, and I'm okay with that. I think I may have just chosen a different route. But the plot as a whole, this main idea of thinking about the future to fix the now, I think the way they went about it was less in your face than a lot of other films Disney has done. And I think I actually appreciate a lot of that elements, because it was a lot more subtle. It was, small changes. It was almost butterfly effect, as opposed to you're killing the world, stop, right? It was more of like, no, these little things you do over time, it's going to make a difference. And it does shift this doomsday almost. And so in terms of moving towards that end, I really enjoy that main idea and the more subtle nature of it. And then just some of the silliness. I think just classic Disney style-esque silliness. It was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Agree.
I agree with that. It's just, but the thing is, I don't like the stick with one style of story. Just let start from start to finish, and then you got another narrative coming. Oh, this is how keep interrupting. Yeah, you get lost, and you stay lost until you really that from George Clooney what he was saying. It realize, oh, this is how they are connected. Till you figure that out, you're wondering in your head. Okay, I just watched 30 or 40 minutes of this movie trying to figure this out now.
It's almost like they tried to Lion King 1.5 it, but you didn't have any of the context of the Lion King going in. You know what I mean?
No.
Like it worked for that because most everyone had seen the Lion King, so okay, we can add this funny commentary on top. Except now it's just funny commentary and we have no story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the story kind of jumped in without having any kind of basis for it. It just kind of jumped in and went. And it wasn't bad, I felt, but it did kind of, like you talked about, it did kind of weave in and out of different things. And it felt like it wasn't a concrete direction as far as the plot, I guess is a way to say it, kind of like what y'all are saying. Yeah, it just kind of wasn't as concrete as I would have liked it to be.
John, I'm going to disagree with you.
All right.
I mean, that's part of our show. We have our disagreements.
More fun
and all
this
that.
way.
I don't know what the heck is up with Disney, honestly. And all of these movies that they're in your face, you need to have a dreamer that takes care of this, that will fix the future. And I mean, it's just, another one where it's like, okay, hey, everything's going to end. The doomsday, the apocalypse is coming, and we could have prevented it. Blah 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 blah. I mean, Wall-E was the same way. This was the same way. I mean, it is
Walt Disney. I think that falls back on that premise. That's kind of their whole culture.
Well, I mean,
Something comes up.
It seems to me that, yeah, I mean, that they were like, okay. They were like, hey, what can we do? Let's take the story of Wall-E and put it to
Humanize it.
nowadays times. And let's just see if we can make it happen. And that's what I saw. That's what, to me, Tomorrowland was Wall-E in the near future or in the present rather than in the far future.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'll give you that 100%.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, don't give me an entertaining movie. Don't give me. Okay, yeah. Well,
are you not entertained?
I was not entertained.
Think about this. Turn this into some kind of game, like it was you're George, you're Frank Miller or you're Casey into this, and you're answering questions to keep going forward. And each multiple choice, there's four answers, and each four of those answers is a different probability of how to make it right or wrong.
If it was done that way, I could understand that. That would make a little bit more sense. But again,
yeah.
And I'm going to get into the cast here. When you have George Clooney, and he is not your number one actor in the movie, that's the problem. He is the A-lister, not, what's her name? Okay. Britt Robertson was not an A-lister, but she was the lead character in the entire movie.
Was she any other Disney movies out there when she starred in?
I have no idea.
Well, that's the thing is I know, but most time with Disney, they're kind of stick to their main group of actors that they're approve of. George Clooney might just slip in there and it's like, look, I'll be it, and then look, this is what you're gonna be. I can't put you in front.
He was there as the hook. He was there to kind of sell the tickets.
Yeah,
man. Actually, I'm looking at her list of movies, and I don't see another Disney one in there at all. Maybe Frank. I mean, heck, she was in Scream 4.
Yeah, I'm just throwing something out there. It's
The
just
Little Fig. I mean, maybe.
no.
Oh, I love that movie. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah,
a little
I mean,
worried there, Shane.
I don't see.
Throwing that out there.
I knew the house was in 101 Dalmatians as the
Mm-hmm.
Well, House has been in everything.
yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, so what do you guys think of the cast? Then, I mean, you guys already heard my 2 cents. That I'm like, if you're going to get an A-lister of George Clooney, who was in his prime at the time when this movie came out, and you're not going to utilize that more. I mean, he was on the promotional stuff, and he was only in the last third of the movie.
Yeah, almost kind of felt like this movie was kind of like an early Disney live action movie that flopped. It kind of felt like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the way they did it had a lot of characteristics of your classic Disney animated movies, but in a live action, and it just didn't quite hit.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm thinking too much, but it kind of has that feel a little bit with the actors, with the music, with the plot, everything.
Now,
Maybe I'm overthinking.
let me backtrack a little bit. I did like the one that played Athena, the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was fantastic. I thought it was a good cast. I mean, I thought with House in there, I know we're calling him House, and that's not his name. I mean, it's Hugh Laurie, but
Everybody knows
not.
him as
It's
House, Dr. House.
It's
but
House.
we all know him as House.
That's right.
and Clooney. I mean, you had a good cast.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast itself was good. I mean, even what was it? One of the robots was well, what was his name? Golly, comedian. Well, you know who the dad was, right? It was Tim McGraw, the country singer.
Yeah. Well, you had a lot
Keegan
of
Michael Key. That's it. Keegan Michael Key.
Was it Aaron?
yeah.
Nope.
I would say probably a great cast, just probably one of the most underutilized casts for their skill set. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, they are all great actors in different areas. They just weren't necessarily built for this story.
Yeah.
But I will say, him as a villain worked very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 100% one of the better settings.
Okay, so what y'all think of the special effects then? Since we're talking about the villains and kind of Tomorrowland.
Listen here, these special effects in a world where Disney owned, I think by this point, Marvel, and was either in the works with Star Wars or already owned Star Wars, there is no right these special effects were as bad as they were. I understand they were working on bigger A-list films. There was no reason this CGI was that bad. I mean, none. I'm fine with the world building. It looked fine, but there were too many times where I'm like, this is 100% CGI. And with what they had going on, with the studios they had, there's no reason they tried to run this film with what it was.
I don't think they were CGI. I think it was like strictly Chat GPT or something. That was
Chat GPT
some
was in there at the time. But here's this.
I know
you mentioned Marvel. Disney got rights to Marvel in 2009. About 3 years later, he got rights to Star Wars. So 2009 for Marvel, 2012 for Star Wars. It had no sense of talking about Star Wars. They kind of, but this fans was all right. You could have done better. Since I get what John was going on. They had Marvel going on at the time and could have took some stuff from them and make it a little bit better. So
that's just it. Like, they went for an original movie, and then they didn't give it any of the time it deserved. It feels like.
Yeah, everything seemed rushed.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Except for when they were, well, we'll get into the fixing later. You got anything you want to add to that, Shane?
No, I'm good. That pretty much covered it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and rate this movie then.
I was like, are we pausing on purpose here?
No, I went click and it didn't work.
I just wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to talk in the pause.
I'm not going to edit this anymore. So, okay, John, you picked this movie. What are you going to give Tomorrowland as your rating from a scale of 0 to 5 lightsabers?
All right, listen here. I've had tough ratings in the past in terms of like I didn't know where to rate it. This kind of fits that because I don't want to go as low as some of the movies we've done lower, but it definitely doesn't deserve. I mean, this is just 100% like zero doubt does not deserve higher than a 3 in my world. And so I'm landing somewhere in this 2 range, I think. So I think I'll just go with a solid 2 just because it had entertaining elements. It did feel like Disney, which is kind of what you want when you go for Disney. I had higher hopes for it being some cool sci-fi over the top film, and then it really just kind of ended up being not. And yeah, so because of the things we've already discussed, it's a 2 for me.
Okay. Shane.
So I think with the way that the movie started, I expected a little bit more. I felt like it started off well. I felt like with the music, with the way it was setting up, I thought it was actually going to be really top notch. But kind of like I've said before, it had potential and just didn't hit it. I'll say again, it kind of felt like an early Disney live action that just really didn't hit the mark. As I said, I think that the music was one of the more redeeming qualities, and I think it was more based on nostalgia, rather than kind of the way. It was more nostalgia than innovative. I'll say. So I am actually going to go right with John. I was thinking that same numbers. I'm going to go with a 2 as well.
Okay. Chad.
Unfortunately, yeah, I agree with Ace. I'm not going. I don't think it deserves a 2. I don't think we need to get higher than a 2, just because of what it is. I mean, Disney, yeah, you can do it all day long. It feels like the original Disney story. Felt like like Gregory Shane. It felt more of a cartoon, and they tried to make it live action. The only redeeming quality it was going to get, they should have used the cast a little bit better. What brought it really down for me is I'm just going to go with a 0.5 point on this. That music is the only way. It's only deserves a 0.5.
0.5. Okay. Well, I am not going to give it that low. Because that's Super Mario Bros. Low. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. That's Conehead's low.
Yeah.
Not for Chad.
No, apparently not.
No, John, you missed it. I even said last week, I said I would rather watch Super Mario Bros. Than Coneheads because
I don't know if I could go quite that far.
I know it was a radical thing, but it was because I was like, okay, they took a Saturday Night Live skit and drug it into a movie.
Yeah.
And at least with Super Mario Bros, they kind of had an idea of what they wanted to do, something different than the video game, but still keep the characters the same, basically. So
what you're saying is you'd rather watch Contact is what you'd rather watch.
Yes.
Wow.
He admitted
I rated Contact higher than I'm going to rate this movie, even. It's probably, I don't remember what I rated Contact. I have to go back and look. This movie was ho hum. Is I guess the word I'm looking for. Like Shane said it probably the best. It had a good beginning. I was excited about it. I was like, because I went back and looked, and I thought I had watched it. I was the only one that thought they watched it until I watched it, and I was like, no, I had never seen this movie. So none of us have ever seen this movie, and it had potential. It had such potential, and and then they just decided, hey, we're just going to go ahead and shove all this into your face, that, hey, the world is going to end. You had the opportunity to fix it and you didn't want to, so too bad. And I'm just sorry. I don't like those type of movies, and two, cast, like Chad said, cast was underutilized. There was so much more they could have done. I'm giving it a 1. I can't give it a half. Like I said, I would rather watch Super Mario Bros. Than this. So no,
Fair.
I didn't. I would rather watch this than Super Mario Bros. Yeah, I would watch this because I mean, like you guys said, the CGI was just way over the top, but I thought it was better than that one we saw from the 80s where they
Fair.
had jump boots and stuff.
Fair.
Okay, John, you got some questions for us.
Yeah, I sure do. So, I feel like we always tend to skirt around questions now, trying not to talk about them while they're still in the background. But how well does this movie bridge the gap between a kids' film and a film made for general audience?
I thought it was. I think if you would have toned down some of the, the world's going to end, apocalyptic type stuff, it would have been easily a kids movie, So I think they were trying to make it a kids movie, but at the same time, that adults wouldn't be like, oh gosh. So I don't think they did it really well, honestly. I think they tried to be on the fence for both, and I don't think it worked, if that makes sense. What rating was this anyway? Was it PG-13? Was it PG?
PG.
It was PG?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. I agree with you, Dave, on this. They was riding the fence on both ends, trying to keep it kid friendly, but also drawing the adults in here with it. And I think that's why they got the rating of PG, just that way to put the parental in there to say, hey, they gonna have to be watching this with the kids, so I got at least to keep them entertained too. And they just was too rushed with it to make it the bridge the gap. I don't think they did a very good job with it then. So.
John,
I don't think his mic is gone.
John, we can't hear you. Did your batteries for your microphone? He's checking. While he's checking, Shane, go ahead.
What happened? Excuse me. Sorry. As I've kind of said, I think it really, I don't know. It because it kind of went for, as I've said, it felt like a live action that didn't quite work for me. So I don't think it bridged it very well.
Yeah.
Fair. See, I'm in that boat. It tried to be both. It failed miserably at both, because like at times it was too campy to be adult, but even almost pushing. My problem, I think, the whole film was it felt like a Disney Channel movie. When they tried to make a blockbuster film, and it felt like a Disney Channel movie, and I think that was the biggest issue for me. And so it was almost too kid-like, but then they threw in these larger themes that I'm like obviously it's not going to be rated R because it's Disney, but obviously they were trying to push it a little more that way. And I feel like they missed it altogether. Anywho. Second.
I was going to say, the critics said that basically the tone was too mature for young children, but way too simple for adults.
Yeah.
I don't know about the first part, but anyway.
Well, I think with the apocalypse and all that, I think that's why, that's why the critics said what they did.
Oh, I promise you, there's okay. That's compared to what kids have, it's tame. But anyway,
Yeah, now
that's a whole nother kind of story there.
now remember we're talking 2015, so
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair.
This is true. Well, following along with this idea of more mature themes, does this movie kind of pose and answer the real main idea of sci-fi? Because almost every sci-fi movie we watch kind of looks at this reality in some way, I feel like, and that is the hope of the future and the warning of what not to do. Does this movie hit it that really being the main idea of sci-fi altogether, or is there a different main idea to sci-fi?
I think it does kind of hit, and I love one of the things that I did love. I love how they talked about when they were trying to the whole doomsday aspect of it, that it wasn't just something that was thrown in people's face, it was slowly broadcast to them. So it slowly kind of became a part of their regular thinking and their regular life. And it was something they got used to. And I think that portion specifically kind of spoke to me, because I think that when we're thinking about sci-fi and we're thinking about all these kind of world-ending movies that we've seen, whether it be Moonfall or whatever, something kind of comes on kind of sudden, but there was always somebody that kind of saw the signs coming here and there, and then later on just kind of talked about it. And I think that like you talked about, John, about the warnings, I think that is one of the things that sci-fi hits on, is that, you know, we always do have that hope for a better tomorrow and a better future and new worlds and everything like that, but there's always that hint there of this could all go away like that.
yeah, I think that is the real question of science fiction. I mean, you think about movies like Terminator, you know, that it was basically, you know, hey, we're going to send a robot back in time to prevent this person from being born, you know, ever. And because of that, you know, it started making Sarah Connor think about the future a whole lot more and prepare for the future that much more, you know. And I think science fiction does a good job with that, especially, you know, like you look at Star Trek, The Next Generation, let's just say, you know, where there is no more money, there is no more need of anything. Everyone, you know, does their part. Everyone does what they're supposed to do, you know, whether it's the Federation or whether it's Starfleet, and at least in that realm, of course, when they meet aliens and they do things differently, it is just a communication and all that. But it's, you know, I think that is the basic idea of our science fiction movies, is that, you know, the hope of the future, that we can fix that, or we can make the future how we want it to be. You know, it's not all about, you know, like, I know if we were to ask each of us, you know, hey, what kind of future do you want to see? You know, like someone would say, hey, I want giant robots walking around, you know, because they're awesome. But in essence, would you really want giant robots walking around where they could crush your house and all that? You know,
unless I'm driving one. Then
exactly. You know, and the older I get, the more I'm like, just let me retire somewhere. You know, so. But I know I'm talking a lot, but I think that is the goal of science fiction movies. Really is that.
I can't say anything but more to add. Agree with that. Science fiction is there to make you most people think that it's there for all these people just to be there and be these strange people that they call the nerds out here. But the thing is it makes you think what it's there. If they didn't make Terminator what it was and drive the thing of Skynet, or didn't do Star Trek having such a long run from when it first aired, and it's still going today, and people still watch the old TV episodes and movies, and if it didn't hit home, I was at the Georgia Aquarium and looking at whales, and I made a Star Trek thing about And so, somebody did Star Trek. And it joins people together. If you really think about it, it doesn't separate nobody.
Good combos.
John, you got anything else to add?
I mean, not realistically. I think, if anything, this movie did well. It's hinting at the main idea of sci-fi. I think, obviously, it could have had a better story to do that. But I think the reality of it is sci-fi is our, like, what can we do to have fun, 50 years from now? And I mean, fun being better stuff, more inventive stuff, technology to help us, figuring out the pitfalls of that, finding new problems, solving them. Like, that is just science altogether, is asking questions and answering them. And so I think this movie hit that. And I think it's really cool to look back at a lot of the movies we've watched and see where they kind of fit into that slot. And if they answer like, well, that's a bad reality, how do we solve a bad realities problem? Or that's a good reality, how do we make it better? And so I think it's just a cool idea to navigate.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with any of that. I was trying to think of if we really want to go, because we talked a lot today, so, which is fine. It's just, if we really wanted to fix this movie, I mean, we would be here for another hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing is I didn't get a chance to mention earlier is I think this movie would have been really good if they would have done it as an anime or animation,
Correct.
Agreed.
And then they could have, one, we wouldn't have seen so much CGI, it would have been a lot more drawings and all that, and you could have made it more futuristic, and don't have people appear when they get the pin in the middle of a field. I mean, you only get a finite amount of time where they're supposed to walk around and see what the future's like, and they spend so much of it traversing this field. I mean, to me, that just didn't make any sense. They should have just made it, okay, hey, you show up in the city and boom, now you see everything, and then go from there. Or something like that. I don't know, just something that'd be a little bit more.
Or explain the pin. What? Don't just drop the pin off and, hey, this is here and a little note. Hey, this is going to take you to this. Just some kind of explanation.
Yeah, that would have been helpful. Kind of reminds me of the Greatest American Hero TV show back in the 80s. He got the super suit from these aliens, and he lost the manual on how to use it. And so the whole thing is just him and hijinks trying to learn how to fly and stuff, and what the suit does, and he's just finding stuff out as he's going along. It's kind of like that. So anyway. Well, I think that's it for our show today. We got some good movies really coming up here. I mean, next month. Is it this month? Yeah. No, next month. Next month is going to be our 4th anniversary.
Wow.
We've been on for 4 years. So officially 4, because we started in April. So in April, we'll be doing that. And yeah, Shane's. Well, Shane was doing that, and then your fingers were disappearing. So
yeah, it's the background.
Because the virtual background.
It's the background thing. This is not actually my house, so
he had to have the grand piano behind him. So
Of course.
Yeah. All right, everyone. We thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys. Until next time.
Peace.
Crash and burn. The Sci-Fi Guys is an independent broadcast and is not affiliated with this movie or TV series. We would love to hear from you. Please contact us by leaving a comment below or by emailing us thescifiguys@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, or share this podcast with someone else who enjoys science fiction. Subscribe or be vaporized.